Welcome to Benny versus the Penny NFL Week 14 edition. Here's your host, big bloviating Ben Maller.
So we're in between, Tom. It's week 14, as you said here. So we got to look back at last week and Thanksgiving and all that. I do want to say, I mentioned this in the appetizer. If you didn't see the appetizer, a record week for Benny versus Penny. We're starting. I don't believe in momentum, Tom, but we've got a little bit of traction. There's a little bit of traction, Tom, now on Benny versus the Penny. So let's try not to F this up. Now, my theory is the reason that we did pretty well, got off to a great start on Thanksgiving last week. Won every game on Thanksgiving. So got off to a 3-0 start for the weekend, and then people spread the word. Word of mouth advertising. You taught me this when I listened to you as a kid on the radio. Word of mouth advertising, very important. So people spreading the gospel. We'll get more people watching this channel from word of mouth than billboards or buses or any kind of advertisement. That's the most important.
So you don't believe like that momentum is something like that Samuel L. Jackson or John Travolta carry in a suitcase like in a Quentin Tarantino movie, and you open it up and you see the gold momentum inside.
Yeah,
then you close it, and then you take it with you week to week. You don't believe in that?
Well, it's funny you bring that up because I went on Amazon and I tried to buy momentum and I couldn't buy. And then I went to Temu and even Temu didn't have momentum. I said, why can't I buy momentum? Right? I mean, it's obviously you have momentum. You should be able to buy momentum or sell momentum or trade momentum. I've never been able to do it. Like there's LeBron James when he shows up to the arena. You're like a Laker guy. So does he show up, LeBron? Does he have like a backpack and there's like a pocket of there's like a lunch pail in the pocket, and then there's in the lunch pail there's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. There's a Snapple, and then there's a
momentum.
A little container of momentum. Does he have that as like a side dish just in case he needs it? Because maybe you don't
know. You hear lazy sportscasters use it 84 times in a broadcast, so you would think it exists in sports, but that's a whole other show, Big Ben. And this is about Benny versus the Penny. Now, congratulations on your week 14. Actually, your week 13. Sorry, but here's the week 14. Matt, Benny 9-7. Season total, and the Benny was 8-8. Season totals, Benny now 97. Let's bring that up, guys.
Okay, come on, get that. Come on, boys. There it is.
Season totals: Benny 97-88, Penny 80-105 as of week 14. So you had a nice week 13, especially the early games. You were kicking ass 9-3. So you're up on the brainless Penny so far this season. Penny, for your thoughts.
Well, my first thought is the Joe No-Show. The New York Giants, Joe Shane, had a news conference this week, Tom, and he was very optimistic about how the future is bright with Jackson Dart. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the Giants have the same exact record this year they did last year, and yet Joe Shane saying almost verbatim what he said last year about how we're going to get it right and we're going to become a championship. It's just bullcrap is what it is, Tom. It's a bad roster, and he's likely going to be out at the end of the season. They already got rid of Brian Daboll, the head coach. And how about the worry wart in Buffalo, the great Jim Kelly sounding alarm bells, Tom, over Josh Allen and the way that he plays. And you're a Bills fan, so I know you're also very worried about this, but I'm not. Josh Allen, if you try to neuter Josh Allen, if you try to rein him in, then you're not going to get anything. He's going to be an immediate.
You better not.
The way he plays, he's a whirling dervish, and just let him play like a whirling dervish. I don't see what the problem is. And he's not. It's like the Huey Lewis in the news song, Tom. He's not there for a long time. He's there for a good time. So he's going to be there to play the way he plays.
Well, not only that, they have to depend on him to win games. And the Buffalo Bills are running the ball like it's Ohio State 1977. They run, and then he throws a pass on 3rd and 5. Yeah. So he's not. They don't actually have him passing very much this year. But that's the kind of X's and O's you like to talk about. I'm just here to serve up the games for
you. Don't touch up my work, Tom, please. And my final thought here, if it feels like there's really no one that great in the NFL, it's not just a feeling, Tom, it's reality. Based on the look-ahead line, long-term odds for the Super Bowl, you look at the Bears and Patriots are the top seeds in the NFC and the AFC, respectively. But if you look at the gambling market, no one is considered all that great. Entering week 14, it was a Thursday game, obviously, but entering week 14, 17 teams listed below 50-1 odds to win the Super Bowl this year. What does that mean, Tom? That is the most for any season dating back to 2010. That's 15 years of data. You got to go back that far. And right now there are 12 teams, at least 4 games above 500.
Isn't that a record?
That is tied. That is tied for the most in NFL history.
Okay.
So it's tied for the most. But
so we've got a lot of good teams, no great ones.
Yeah, and this is my argument. I've said from the bully pulpit, Tom, on radio, I said I don't want parity. I don't own an NFL team. I don't work for the NFL. I want greatness. And I've always been that way. You want to take down the dynasty because we grew up, Tom, with dynasties in football.
Yeah, we did. We did. It's always nice to take them down. It's great to cheer for them or against them.
Yeah, every decade you had the Steelers. You went to the Patriots, then the
Dallas Cowboys there for a while, long before our time.
Yeah. Well, you had the Cowboys, Steelers, 49ers, and the Patriots. But that Patriot dynasty ended. It's been almost 10 years since that.
The Patriots have been bad for most of their history. There's a lot of younger people that would be surprised to find that out if they were born in the 90s or the new millennium. But the Patriots were always kind of a punchline until Tom Brady came along.
Well, somebody did also point out to me the other day that the Pittsburgh Steelers were the same way until Chuck Noll and all that. But ever since
in the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, they were only a joke or a punchline in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s and 60s before they got good in the 70s.
I understand. Well, let's get to the games, Tom. We will not be talking about the Patriots, Panthers, Giants, or 49ers, Tom. You know why?
Let me see. I'm trying to figure out why that is. Oh, because they're not playing.
That's right. They're in Cancun right now. All right. What do we got?
Bengals at Buffalo Bills. Joe Burrow and his revivified Bengals can't afford another loss, and neither can the Buffalo Bills, really. Bengals are getting 5.5 points in a snowy, cold Sunday, land of chicken wings and Genesee beer.
This is the game on Fox. Joe Davis and Greg Olson. We used to interview Greg Olson back in the day. 27 degrees, Tom, and snow likely, as you said, snow likely in Orchard Park. I want a snow globe game. I'm hoping.
I love that. It's kind of romantic watching it on TV, unless you're cheering for one of the teams to win and they keep dropping the ball.
Well, I'm going to take the Bengals here. Buffalo should win this game, however, not against the number, Tom. There's line value. I'm a value shopper.
Line value.
I want you to know, watching Benny versus Penny, I am a value shopper. Okay, I am. And so Joe Burrow's return, that stabilized things for the Cincinnati offense there. And just by getting the ball out, you neutralize the shortcomings on the offensive line. And Buffalo's pass rush does do very well, but usually they do it against teams most of the time that just hold the ball, quarterbacks that hold the ball for too long. Burrow was pretty good at that last week, which limits the advantage the Bills would have on defense. And the Bengals are not good on defense at all. They suck. However, they have been pretty good, as we saw last week against your Ravens, Tom, at forcing turnovers.
Yeah.
So Josh Allen's been pretty sloppy, turnover prone the last couple of games. Not last week, but the last 2 months, he's been turnover likely. And if you look at the sharp money, Tom, that's
the smart bettors, right? The sharp guys, the guys that make a living.
Yeah, they're leaning towards the Bengals as well, plus the points here. The public thinks Buffalo is going to get it done, but I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals plus the points and the penny picks.
Okay, let's see what the penny picks, Big Ben. Heads, home team. Tails for the visitors. Penny going with the home team. Tails the visitors. Penny, hometown Bills. Benny taking the points. Benny, the points whore, taking the points. So my friend Grubber, the prison guard from upstate New York, he believes in Pulp Fiction, where you can carry momentum around. And in a little attaché case, and you see the momentum, shiny gold momentum. He thinks if the Buffalo Bills scored first in their games, that gives them momentum. You say there's no such thing, right?
I just had an idea. We probably shouldn't say this on YouTube with people actually watching this, but what if we went into business and we sold bottles of
momentum?
Wouldn't that be great?
Wow,
we could sell it. We could market it with the different sports leagues, and we could sell. Remember that guy in Italy that made thousands selling bottled air from some lake.
Yep.
Sell momentum. Tom, we got it. I'm serious. Let's talk. All right,
let's do that. Seahawks at Falcons. Seahawks need to keep winning in order to contend to the NFC West, and the Falcons have nothing to play for. Atlanta getting 7.5 points.
Yeah, so this game on Fox, Kevin Kugler and Daryl Moose Johnston still working there. The Moose, Cowboy legend from back in the day. From the great indoors here, Seattle's defense has been absolutely, Tom, suffocate. They're like an anaconda as they choke you here, holding opponents to minimal yards. Now, I know Nostradamus and JJ and Renton, some of my guys in Seattle, they think I'm a Seahawk hater. No, I'm not. I just hate Sam Darnold. I don't hate the Seahawks. I have no ill will towards the Seahawks. I just think Sam Darnold sucks. Seattle's won six of their last 7, if I think I have that number right. The Falcons offense has been so unreliable. Tom, they suck. They are horrific, bad to the bone. And Kirk Cousins, what does he not do well? He doesn't handle pressure. Seattle gets pressure. And so I'm going to take the Seattle. I usually don't like favorites, as you know, Tom, but I'm going to do this here. I'm going to take Seattle. Jackson Smith and Jigba, who is the number 1 receiver, according to Pro Football Focus, in the entire NFL. The secondary for Atlanta, inconsistent. And there should be plenty of gaps for Smith and Jigba to get his yards there. The only thing that you worry about a little bit is if Atlanta can establish the run and Kirk Cousins, he'll be okay. If they can establish,
what about that? It's a long trip for Seattle. What about that?
Yes, they're traveling by stagecoach. But if Atlanta can't establish the run time, which is most likely, then Cousins will have to throw obvious passing downs, which means, Tom, interceptions. Okay, yeah. I know I'm putting this out in the cosmos, but it means interceptions. And so I'm going to take the team from the Pacific Northwest. Despite Sam Darnold, Atlanta's going to have to be near perfect on offense to have a chance to cover the spread. I'm taking the Seabirds. What about the Penny?
Okay, let's see what the Penny thinks here on Benny versus the Penny. Okay, Benny. Oh, look at this. Another disagreement. Benny taking the Falcons. Benny taking the Seahawks and giving away the points.
All right. Well, a bad job. The Pennies. This is why the Penny's like 1,000 games under 500. All right. What's next, Tom? What do we got?
Pittsburgh Steelers at Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore, Maryland, home of the first canned corn factory. But you knew that, Big Ben, back in the day. This is a brouhaha for first place in the AFC North. Both teams coming off bad losses. Both of those at home, neither team playing well, and the Steelers are getting 6.
Now, is it true, Tom, that in baseball there's a hokey line when there's a routine fly ball, they say it's a can of corn? Was that a marketing term that the people that made canned corn put into baseball broadcasts? Is it possible?
I'm wondering about that.
To look that up there, yeah. This is the big game on CBS, Tom, which means Jim Nantz and your guy Tony Romo.
Look at that, Jim! Yes.
And Jim Nantz is going to be eating some burnt toast somewhere in the greater Baltimore area with Sports with Coleman on Sunday morning. But not bad weather. There's a chance of rain, but it's going to be in the 40s this time of the year, December weather. That's pretty good for Baltimore. We're going to go with the struggling Yinzers, Tom. We're going against popular opinion. The terrible towels will rise to the occasion.
Well, you're not bearing the lead here. You're telling us first who you're going with. Now tell us why.
All right, I'm going to take the Steelers. Embattled Mike Tomlin. Here's what I believe, Tom. Extreme outcomes, like what happened to the Steelers last week where they didn't show up in the second half against the Buffalo Bills, whether it's good or bad, extreme outcomes are followed by more moderate ones. So I expect a return to the mean by the Pittsburgh Steelers here. Tight divisional game. The Ravens are clearly the more talented team. I'm not going to sit here and bark into the microphone on the YouTube like Mr. Beast. Like this, somehow this is this team is not more talented. They are. However, your boy Lamar Jackson, your guy Lamar,
and my favorite quarterback.
Yeah, he's really
favorite football player.
He's really regressed here. A lot of turnovers. The Ravens last week had 5 giveaways. All kinds of red flags there for the Ravens. And the Steelers defense, while they're not great, they are capable of keeping games close. I love the points
these historically, no matter who's on the team, this game's always close.
Yeah, it is. Now, turnovers will change that. If one team obviously has 3 or 4 turnovers, then it'll blow the game out. But the Sharps are leaning towards Pittsburgh, so I'm on the right side of history, according to the wise guys here. Rivalry game. Baltimore, very volatile stock. It's like an energy stock, right. Goes up and down and all around here. And so, Steelers, if they just force a couple of turnovers here, they can get that motor started for Aaron Rodgers, who just had a birthday this week. Happy birthday, Aaron Rodgers. A big big ayahuasca cake. So I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers and force Lamar into mistakes, cover the number, the penny picks.
Let's see what the penny picks. Did you see the Aaron Rodgers documentary?
I did not.
Okay, Penny landing on heads. We open up with a trifecta of differences. Penny going with the hometown Ravens. Benny always picking against the Baltimore Ravens.
I used to love documentaries, Tom, and then they started becoming PR jobs. And
you always have to see who's producing the documentary. And the Eddie Murphy documentary, which is really great, is produced by Eddie. The Aaron Rodgers documentary is produced by Aaron Rodgers.
Shocking.
So it does make you like him a little. He likes to go down the whole boring second installment. It's 3 episodes. He goes down to Costa Rica and they smoke the ayahuasca, and he says it gets you in touch with your feminine energy.
Oh, is that right?
Okay, really appeal to football fans. And they sit around.
Does he go with his wife?
Oh no, he doesn't go with his wife, who was once Manti Te'o's wife back in the day too.
She gets around, that lady. Let me tell you. All right.
And we still trying to figure out who that is. And it's quite an. I mean, it does make him more likable. Not episode 2 necessarily. I don't know what the hell episode 2 is about. They hug a lot and they talk about how high they are, and it's
Oh, okay. No, ayahuasca, I was told. You've probably done it, but I've told you can drink it and you can smoke it.
Yes, I did see that. Yeah, ayahuasca came along after I was done with my
okay. No, you've already moved on from your psychedelic phase. I got you. All right.
Yes, I have. Now for me, it's mostly coffee, although I do like red wine with my red meat. Okay, we got breaking news here, Big Ben.
Breaking news.
I believe it's Newsmax reporting and CNN reporting. B block straight ahead. The B block. Straight ahead. First, Ben, sell the soap.
Yeah, we are here every week. We do this, as you say, Tom, for the American people,
mm-hmm.
But now really the people of the world. We all are brothers and sisters on this little blue marble floating out in the cosmos, and so we thank you. I can't tell you how much it means to me. All the people in Malaysia that love Benny versus the Penny. It's just and North Korea, very big in North Korea, Tom. They
mm-hmm.
love this channel. So we're here every week, at least 2 episodes a week. Just smash the like button, subscribe, tell somebody. And the holidays are coming up, and we actually ended our Cyber Monday sale. We're going to have one more sale upcoming, and we're going to have a bundle deal as well. So keep an eye out on that, and enjoy the holidays and give the gift of Benny versus the Penny. It really makes people happy, makes them smile. I can't think of things that are better for children than Benny versus the Penny. Especially when they're like 7 or 8 or 9, you really want to get them hooked on sports gambling. That's really good parenting. All right, where are we going now, Tom?
Well, if you teach your kids how to box a trifecta or how to bet on the NFL, they'll enjoy their life more. Gambling is one of those things, as we found out, Ben, that really enhances the quality of life.
Well, it has for us, and the key to gambling, and this is very important, is to actually win. It's not a problem gambling unless you lose. If you win, nobody says it's a problem. You just have to win. That's the issue. That's the hard part.
Yeah, and if you can boonswoggle NBC into giving you a television show talking about gambling and football and point spreads, that if you can. It's a lot of fun. And now we're worldwide, thanks to our friends over at NBC.
I would like to thank them. They said, this show's so good, we don't want to hold you hostage on national cable television.
Old-fashioned cable.
Yeah, we don't want that. I mean, please. We think you guys are bigger than that. Yes.
Yeah, it's like being in a mall.
All right, get back to it, Tom.
Okay, Indianapolis Colts and Jacksonville Jaguars. Colts won the NBA Cup in September, but this is December, Ben. Indiana Jones and the crew have lost 3 of 4, and it gets worse. They haven't won in Jacksonville in 11 years. Now, I know that's your department. Those fun facts, but I decided I would hijack that one for you. And Jaguars are getting 1.5 points.
You know what I'm going to buy? I know what I'm going to get you for Christmas, Tom. I am going to go and get you the biggest blackout curtains I can possibly get. That's what I'm going to get you, Tom. I love that your studio is similar to Jerry Jones Stadium.
Oh, do I got sun coming in again?
I love it. It's like right on top. It's occasionally I see a stripe on your shirt. I see it's just. Here's Tom. This is live on the air. Do not attempt this as Tom tries to close the blackout curtain. All right.
This is how I do it very professionally here. I have my booger jar. And I take it. I lean it up against the curtain there.
Are you selling your boogers like momentum, Tom? Are you?
Very good.
All right. As far as the game, Tom, come on, it's a serious gambling show.
Okay.
You don't F around here. All right. The weather's not going to be a factor, other than the rain, which is obviously a bit of a factor. So it's not going to be cold, Tom. It's going to be rainy in Jacksonville. So, slip and slide game. This matchup is razor close. The Jags have been playing pretty well. They've got some confidence going. They've won 4 of their last 5. The Colts have dropped a couple games in a row. And as you mentioned, Indy has not won in Jacksonville in over a decade. It's been a minute. But as Dick Stockton taught me, my professor Dick, he taught me, Tom, stats tell you what has happened, not what's going to happen, as I know Alf, the alien opiner, and Fergdog are nodding their head. Yes, but if the Colts establish Jonathan Taylor, they can then neutralize Jacksonville, the passing of their offense and all that stuff. However, Trevor Lawrence is able to keep it clean, right? Keep it clean. Don't get dirty. The Indianapolis secondary is not that great. The Jags will be fine here. I'm going to take the healthier quarterback, and that would be Duval County.
Wow. Okay.
Jacksonville here. Daniel Jones is starting to become the Daniel Jones we remember from the Giants. He's got the excuse now. Oh, my leg is broken. Okay. Jacksonville's offense, though, has found a rhythm. I don't like them per se, but they're winning games here. And Trevor Lawrence has been distributing the ball, even though he was the number 1 pick in the draft. He's more of a game.
One of the reasons I think you don't like the Jaguars is, since I've been doing this with you, every time you pick them, they crap the bed. Is that one of the reasons?
Yes, it makes me want to drown myself in the pool when I watch them. The Colts secondary again. That's the thing. They're not very good. And by the way, the Sharps are leaning on I'm taking Jacksonville. The Sharps are leaning towards the Jags as well. Small home dogs, despite the Colts opening up. They're a favorite. The public bettors love the Colts. They think Jonathan Taylor is going to bounce back here. They buy that. I'm going to take a small line, but I'm going to take Jacksonville. And the penny picks.
Okay, let's flip a coin. Throw it up in the air like we just don't care. Where is it? Okay, Penny landing on tails. Penny trying to create some separation so far. Penny taking the horseshoes. Benny going with the cats.
And we move on, Tom. We get in the Penny versus Penny helicopter. Where are we headed now?
I love it. Let's go to the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. The Chicago Bears, the Green Bay Packers, and NFC North hullabaloo. Some would call it a brouhaha. What would you call it, Ben?
I'd call it a slobber knocker. I think this is
okay.
It could be though, Tom, skullduggery. We might see some skullduggery.
Could be some skullduggery. The Bears lead the division, coming off an impressive road victory over the Eagles. Packers beat up the Lions on the road. Chicago getting 6.5. Now this doesn't seem. Why would Chicago, as so hot as they are, they're in first place. Vegas trying to fool us here. Why would Chicago be getting 6?
Well, let me explain this to you like you're in kindergarten. This is the big Fox game here. We got Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady. Football royalty. You're not allowed to mention how bad a job he's done with the Raiders, though. You're not allowed. It's taboo, Tom. Do not mention he's made the Raiders even worse because you'll be banned by polite society. But it's going to be a Chamber of Commerce kind of day at Lambeau Field, Tom. Clear skies and beautiful sunshine and 11 degrees at kickoff.
God.
How great. God. My God. All right. Well, Chicago has been an absolute money-making operation for those of us that bet on the NFL.
Okay.
Against the spread, 8-2 against the spread their last 10 games, the Chicago Bears. However, they're not in the bubble of trust. And the gambling market, Tom, if you look at where the gambling market is, they've not shown the Bears any type of real respect's the right word, but they don't believe in the Bears, the gambling market. The Sharps, though, are buying in to the Bears here. The Packers are the public team. That's part of the reason, Tom, the line is the way it is, because the public keeps betting on the Packers. That defense, Lambeau Field, the history of the Packers' domination over the Bears over the years. However, again, the wise guys are leaning more towards the Bears. I'm also taking the Bears in this game. I'm going to take Chicago here. Styles make fights, Tom. You've got a two-headed backfield, DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai, the running back. And you have to be good for me to learn how to say your name. Kyle Monangai, the running back. Those guys combined for 280 yards last week. against the Eagles. And this guy, the running back, Monungai, 7th round pick this year, Tom, out of Rutgers.
Love that. I love that.
Piscataway, New Jersey, and he's one of the better players they've had. And he is hurt, though. He's got an ankle injury. So at the time we're doing this, we're not 100% sure whether he's going to be out there or not. Obviously, I like the Bears a lot more if he's playing. Caleb Williams is not good, Tom. He's good at painting his nails, but playing quarterback, not so much. Even Ben Johnson admitting this week that it is not a great situation, the passing off.
He doesn't throw interceptions, I would say. He didn't throw them in high school, doesn't throw them in college, doesn't throw them in the pros.
Yeah, that is true. He also doesn't really hit receivers in stride, which is a bit of a problem. But
hitting
he does
wide open in his defense. Hitting wide open wide receivers isn't right now. He's got to work on that. But nevertheless.
Yes, he does avoid turnovers, which is most important here. And the Packers secondary has had issues at times this year, so there should be an ability to
hot in the fourth quarter.
Extend plays there. I like the Bears' rushing attack. That, to me, that's the biggest edge the Bears bring to this game. And the Packers, if the Packers somehow able to bottle that up, Micah Parsons' pass rush will cause issues here. But the ground game will decide. It's just like when we were kids, Tom. You got to ground and pound and all that stuff. I'm going to take the Lucky Tony Bears to get it done. What about the penny? And flip it up in the air.
On the frozen tundra. Penny going with tails. Benny and the penny finally agree, taking the Bears.
The Bears. We go from Green Bay, Wisconsin, just down the road from
to Kansas City, Missouri, a city with more fountains than Paris or Rome. Houston Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a playoff game for these two. The total loser has major problems and likely totally won't make it into the postseason. Houston Texans and that high testosterone defense getting 3.5 points.
Yeah, so Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, this is the big Sunday night game. 24 degrees at kickoff, Tom, in Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium.
This is football weather.
That's just down the road from Liberty, Missouri, Tom, which is give me a Liberty or give me chicken fingers, or in Kansas City, you can have both. Home of the Ben Maller chicken fingers at the Landing in Liberty, Missouri. Try them if you're in Kansas City, if you visit Kansas City. But Houston has covered consistently in recent weeks, Tom. They figured out some kind of cheat code recently, and Kansas City is
all playing defense.
Kansas City's back in the slumber department the last 4 weeks or so. They've lost more than they've won. And the Chiefs are good at Arrowhead. They're 4-2 against the spread at Arrowhead Stadium. And if you look historically, Patrick Mahomes, very profitable in primetime games. However, I'm going to take the Texans defense here with Will Anderson. Very disruptive against an offensive line. If the Chiefs had some offensive linemen, I would be more prone to take Kansas City. They just don't. The Chiefs placed offensive lineman Josh Simmons on injury reserve. They're starting right guard and right tackle. The whole right side of their offensive line, Tom, is on the injury report. In fact, how bad is it for Kansas City? It's so bad that they were holding tryouts. Hey, how would you like to play right guard for the Chiefs this week? Okay. How would you like to play right tackle? That doesn't seem ideal in this point in the NFL season.
Yeah, if you've been watching any of their games, I know I have. I don't know what you do on Sunday, but Patrick Mahomes is getting caught. He never used to get caught. Now he's still great when he has to improv, but their defenses seem to be sacking him and catching him more often than they used to.
Well, as you know, I make a weekly appearance on the great Fesco in the Morning Show in Kansas City, on the Fan in Kansas City, and we pointed out on my weekly visit this past Thursday, we pointed out, like, listen, the Chiefs, it's not like they're really that far off. It's just like a thingamajig over here on special teams.
You're right.
Call it on defense. And like this last week, it was actually on Thursday, Thanksgiving, the highest rated NFL game of all time, allegedly. Most people watched it. But if you watch that game, Mahomes had great numbers. They scored enough points, but it was like a defensive blunder here and just a turnover. And it's completely up to up. I love the quote from Andy Reid this week. Andy Reid was talking about how the Chiefs are going to tickle tonsils on every play.
I know.
Wonder what he was watching before that, but
I was wondering too. That's the name.
I
just wonder what every guy on earth is thinking when he.
So I'm banking on CJ Stroud just not effing the game up, turning the ball over. He's also takes a lot of sacks here.
And I know you're not you're not a big believer anymore in Juju Smith-Susie Schuster.
No, not so much. But the sharper consensus actually, it's really close. Slight lean towards the Texans in this game. More balanced action, though. There's there are some contrarian bettors taking Kansas City at home, small point spread. I'm going to take the Texans, though, and I'll take the points.
Wow.
What about the penny?
Yes, okay. It's going to be cold there in Kansas City. Let's bounce on the cold turf. Missouri. Penny landing on tails, betting the penny agreeing again, going with that tough Houston Texans defense.
All right, Tom, where are we headed now?
We're going to La La Land, Hollywood, California, shaping values for generations to come. Philadelphia Eagles.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It depends on who you ask. Philadelphia Eagles, Los Angeles Chargers, two teams that are like a box of chocolates, a good box of chocolates, but you never know what you're going to get. Chargers are getting 3 points at home.
Yeah, so a lot of rumors who's going to be at this game. Talk of Kim Kardashian. The Kardashian clan will be there. Of course, the guys from Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Ben Maller also will be in attendance.
Ben Maller. Oh, wow.
Okay. This just into Benny versus the Penny. I should be there, God willing, on Monday night. Yeah.
Well, my friend Jay Moore just texted me. He's a big fan of mine. He thinks you're okay. And he says he's going to be at the game as well. Look at that. Okay.
Is that right? Unbelievable. Well, Philly is a hot mess. This is the Joe Buck Troy Aikman game. The Fox refugees have the call. I love getting a playoff contending team at home, getting some points. That's what we have. That's the formula, Tom.
Yeah,
that's the formula to take the Chargers and Jim Harbaugh. The early betting numbers, and I this game not till Monday. There's a slight lean towards LA. The public, though, is laying the points with Philadelphia, and so they're more comfortable. They think this is a get-right game, Tom. A get-right game. I don't know. I don't know about that.
We've been saying that week in and week out with the Eagles.
Yeah, they haven't gotten right. The thing that does scare me, and I'm taking the Chargers, but the thing that scares me is that Philadelphia defensive line led by Jalen Carter. They are elite. The Chargers offensive line, injury plagued. They're not particularly good. That seems to be problematic. Justin Herbert also is going to be playing with a fractured non-throwing hand, which I'm sure will be analyzed every single snap. And oh my God, is he okay?
He's a media darling. They love that guy. Oh my God.
You'd think he's better than he is based on the media.
You would. Yeah.
But we do like Jim Harbaugh, the ground assault against. Really, that's the strength of the Chargers, not Justin Herbert, the offensive line. It's the Eagles' run defense, which is ranked 24th in the NFL, Tom. They give up 128 yards per game. The offense under Kevin Patullo, the offensive coordinator, they're 23rd in passing yards, 22nd in rushing yards. They're not good at anything. And Jalen Hurts, he hasn't been able to find any kind of rhythm. Saquon Barkley is not the same guy he was last year. So, listen, the Chargers have an opportunity.
Is Saquon Barkley not the same guy he was last year, or is the offensive line not doing its job?
Well, either way, he's not producing the way he did last year. So the door is open for Jalen Hurts to turn the ball over 2 or 3 times. And I'm going to take the one and only Chargers. What about the penny?
Okay, let's see.
All right.
Throw the penny in the air, look up in the smog, in the LA smog, and see how that. Hey, Penny landing on tails. Penny taking the inconsistent Eagles. Penny going with the Jekyll and Hyde Chargers.
Yeah, I got to sell the soap, Tom. By the way, if you do buy some fish sticks at Arthur Treasures, please let us know. Let us send us photos of it. They're big sponsors.
Yeah, sure. Okay, we got some Thanksgiving leftovers, Big Ben. That include the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. Jets getting 2.5.
Yeah. So Tua turns into a popsicle in cold weather. Jets have been outperforming. Jets are 8-4 against the spread. I'm going to take the Jets.
Okay, we have New Orleans Saints at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Saints getting 8.5.
Yeah, so the Sharps are heavily on Tampa Bay. I'm going to take the Saints, though. I'm going to take the New Orleans Saints here. Divisional game. I'm going to take the points. That's a big number. The Bucs should win this game by 20, but they won't.
Okay, we have Tennessee Titans, Cleveland Browns. Tennessee getting 4.5.
So there's only one unit in this game that is elite. That would be the Cleveland Browns defense. So I'm going to take the Browns defense against the offensive line, which is not very good for the Texans here. And Cleveland should be able to run the ball as well. And I just hope that Shedeur Sanders stays out of the way. These are two terrible quarterbacks, Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, but I'm taking the Browns.
Shedeur Sanders has played in the NFL 15 minutes. Give him a break. Oh, my God. What is it with you media haters?
If he keeps playing like this, he won't play another 15 minutes. How about that?
Okay. Washington Commanders at Minnesota Vikings, the Disappointment Bowl. Two teams that left their fans doctor shopping for Vicodin, and the Vikings getting 1.5 points.
So this is one of those games that you say this is a hold your nose game, cover your mouth because you're going to puke and that whole thing. And this is a game you wouldn't bet on. We pick every game, though. There's no consensus. There's no overwhelming consensus on this game. But I'm going to take the Vikings at home, bet against Washington coming off an overtime heartbreaking loss to the Broncos. So I'm going to take Minnesota.
Okay, Minnesota and the points. Let's go to Los Angeles Rams, the team of your youth, and the Arizona Cardinals.
All right, so what is the golden rule, Tom? Divisional game, getting over a touchdown.
Well, the Maller mantra, we have that in a fancy graphic here somewhere, don't we? Yeah, right down the scroll. Yep.
There you go. I do like the Rams to win the game, but this will be within the number here. Bounce back for Matthew Stafford, although he's likely got at least one interception still left in him. But I'll take the Cardinals at home to hang around, Tom.
Yeah, Cardinals have lost a lot of close games, and they're getting 8. Okay, and what else do we have? Denver Broncos at the greatness of the Raiders, and the Raiders are getting 7.5.
Yes, they are, Tom. They are. They're getting 7.5. The Broncos, boy, they should win this game by a bunch, but Bo Nix is not great, and the defense is solid. Divisional game. Denver's last 4 wins. Here's a fun fact, Tom. Last 4 wins have come by a combined 10 points. They don't blow out anybody. So I'm going to take the Raiders. And I saw the Raiders last week, Tom. They were terrible.
Because we have to pick every game, you're taking the Raiders. But if you were in Vegas, you would not put money on the Raiders.
No, I would not bet this game at all. I would laugh at anyone to bet on this game. But we pick every game, so I got to do it. Yes.
We wouldn't have had a television show or a YouTube show if it was called "Don't Bet This Game."
No. That's the gimmick, right? That you got to sell. You got to sell it. We pick every game, even the ones we don't like. That's how it works.
Okay, we've got a number of nattering nabobs of NFL nuggets knocking around your numbskull noggin this week. Ben, make it make sense.
All right, so I know we're going late, so I'll just do one for time reasons here, Tom. But Russell Wilson, who is the third-string quarterback for the New York Giants, is going to audition this weekend on CBS. He's going to get an audition there as he winds down his NFL career. And I was trying to think, what kind of broadcaster will Russ be? And I think he'll be like A-Rod. Remember A-Rod was kind of a douchey and really scripted guy when he played baseball and all that. Russell Wilson's like iRobot. That's what, the whole Mr. Unlimited stuff. He's very scripted, worried about his image and all that stuff. So, which means he'll probably be pretty good because TV executives love
vanilla.
They love cliches and all that. They're not getting enough of that. And Russ is safe in that he won't say anything interesting. And but he's got the resume because he was on the Seahawks that had the Legion of Boom and won the Super Bowl. So we'll keep an eye out on that, see how he does.
In general, we have found that athletes make terrible broadcasters. It's a dirty secret. The executive, for some reason, people who know better, people who love great broadcasting, like to get to know these famous athletes, and they give them jobs that they don't deserve. And I know this is not breaking news.
No. It's called jockocracy. It's been around for 40 years. Howard Cosell came up with it, but they always are. The other part of that, Tom, is I've had conversations with people that work at TV people, and they're like, well, yeah, they always go, yeah, but Charles Barkley is the greatest of all time, and he's a former player. I was like, yeah, but, and they're like, well, you got to kiss 10 million frogs before you find your prince. Okay,
people love to find what we call the throwout statistic. Viagra is a very popular drug. Now, it did make a guy go blind once, but it didn't make 9 billion other guys go blind.
Exactly. You look for what, as you taught me with politics, Tom, you just look for what supports your argument and forget everything else. That's
right. Yeah, exactly. Well, Big Ben, we have to wrap it up there. Yeah, the affiliates up and down the line are annoyed when we go over 40 minutes, and we're getting really close.
Yeah, we are. Listen, have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy Week 14 of the NFL. Share the show. It's not a podcast. I guess it kind of is a podcast. It's a YouTube extravaganza. Have a great weekend. May all your picks be winning picks. Remember, Tom, good teams win. Great teams cover. Remember that. So the Jets are actually a great team because they cover the spread.
Now they're telling me in my ear, wrap it up again, and we'll spruce it up in post because that was kind of clunky. They just tell me.
All right. All right. Have a great day.
Yeah. Make sure you watch Benny versus the Penny every week. It only makes sense.